Yeah. Yeah. Nerdvengers! I'm on my way. On my way to Nerdvengers Tower. Happy Thursday to you all. Happy June to you all. Yeah, it's a new month. And you know what that means? We're giving away another $200 GameStop gift card to a lucky Nerdvenger. All you got to do is be a member. We're going to draw that later today. It's going to be real cool. I put my name in the thing several times as well, and if I win it, I'm going to go get some cool shit. So we'll do that. And of course, we must talk about Kenobi. That's really what I want to do today, you know? I want to talk about Kenobi. I want to kind of get a vibe check. I want to check in with you guys, talk about our different opinions. I'll give my take, of course, so that you guys can all get really mad about it. So, you know, just that regular fun-loving nerd-venging that we love to do for these real cool pop culture crazy things that are going on in the world. Kenobi, talk. I'm pulling into the tower. I'll see you soon. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's get it started. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to a Thursday show. You know? Don't you know? And yeah, man, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk Kenobi. Full spoilers for every episode so far. I am going to try to not speak or talk about, like, leaked things or things in the future. So you should be good on that account. Like, if you're just trying to, you know, have a discussion, but you don't want the potential stuff ruined. You know, yeah, we'll keep it leak-free for this chat. And we'll just talk about the show so far. Just kind of want to get everybody's opinions about it. A couple of things as well that are going on. I want to say that I've got a couple of fun videos coming out soon. There's a major story about the Fantastic Four director out there, and the story itself isn't that detailed, but I think it actually has some pretty crazy implications. So I'm going to do a full video on that, talking about the Fantastic Four movie, Feige's plan, what some of the details probably mean about that project, about where Feige's head is at, and stuff like that. So I'll be working on that. I also want to do a really cool video, a positive Star Wars video. I know some of you are like, what? But I'll do a positive Star Wars video about Quinlan Vos and about the Jedi and about the possibility of Jabim connecting to Fallen Order and just some of that really, really cool stuff. I have some theories. There's also some things that I heard, and so I want to kind of package that into a video together because I think one of the coolest things that was done in Kenobi Episode 3 was the sort of introduction to this underground railroad for Jedi and Force sensitives, and this idea that basically Quinlan Vos and maybe other prequel-era Jedi were involved in helping other Force-sensitive children, helping other Jedi. And I've always loved this idea that there could be a Jedi Order out there that maybe we didn't know about, or like a sect of the Jedi or something, you know. And it's possible that Quinlan Vos will be involved in that, and I think that would be absolutely epic and a really cool way to, you know, create almost like a sort of new tent pole for their marketing and for their creative, so that you have all this new stuff to explore via the games, you know, maybe some comics and stuff like that. So there's good stuff in Kenobi 3, and I think that will be happening in the back half of the show. So look out for that as well. I want to see if there's anything else going on. Anything else that I should talk about? I do want to, maybe later in today's stream, I want to stream a little bit of this Marvel Snap game that I've been talking about. It's like a digital card game, kind of like Hearthstone or Gwent, if you ever played the Witcher games. And so I want to do that because I'm obsessed with this game, man. I think this game is freaking awesome. So I want to show that off on stream a little bit. We'll see Because sometimes when I play games on stream, my luck is horrible. I played a little bit yesterday for the Nerd Venture stream, and it wasn't good. And I hated it. And then I got offline and was winning consistently again. It's your guys' fault. So I don't know how much of that I will do. But I did want to show it off a little bit because I think the game's super fun. I think you guys will enjoy it. Okay. So let's get into this, man. This is going to be pretty community-based. So a lot of polling. We're going to Poll Town several different times today. And I definitely want to look at the chat begrudgingly and get a sense for where you guys are at with a lot of this stuff, man. So that's kind of what's on the docket or the sketch for now, okay? So here's, I guess, where I want to start with. Let's do two things. How about those two stomachs? Yeah. Let me gamble. No, we gamble on Fridays. Everybody relax. You're gambling tomorrow. So I want to start with a couple of different things here. The first thing I want to start with is you guys put into the chat on a score out of 10 for episode 3. This is where I want to start with. How did you guys feel about episode 3? I did this yesterday in the chat at noon for the Nerd Vengers, but I want to do it for everybody here. I really want to know. So let's see here. We got some 9s, some 8s, 8, 6, 5, a 6. A lot of high scores. A lot of high scores, right? So some 7s, some 6s, some mid stuff, but mostly I think I see a lot of high scores here, guys. Yeah. Like you see it in the chat. You see what's going on. A lot of high scores. Okay? So I think, generally speaking, oh my God. Did you really mean to put a 4 in there, Ryan? The Nerd Executive. Holy shit. Live from the kitchen, giving it an 8.5. My man, Fernie. Yo, Fernie, I got vids on deck for you, brother. Shout out to you, brother. I got vids on deck, so we'll get you some stuff this week for sure. 3.5. Damn. Ryan is angry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now everybody stop for a second. No more numbers, because we're going to talk about the show overall. So I want to do a reset here. But I do want to bring up something that I think is kind of interesting, okay? And we'll see. Let's just kind of talk about this full on here because it's interesting, but there are also some sort of weird factors at play here. But I do think it's worth bringing up. And so let me bring this up. Let's talk about this. Obi-Wan Kenobi. 86% critically on the Rotten Tomatoes. 56% audience score. Okay, that's shocking. Now, here's the thing before you guys get all fucking angry and start raging in the chat. Everybody relax. Are you raging? Put yes into the chat if you're raging. Are you raging? Put yes into the chat. I just need to know. Are we raging or not? Are you raging? Okay. Here's the thing. I think this is not accurate. And here's why. So this thing has 14,000 reviews, okay? And I was like, okay, well, what do other big shows have? What is Stranger Things Season 4, which is fucking incredible? What does it have? It has about 1,000, okay? So I don't think it's like way too out of hand to the point where you can't trust that score at all. But it certainly has, because it's only halfway through. And you've got all these people like chiming in. The thing is, Kenobi is definitely being targeted by a lot of pretty upset people. Okay? 1,400. Yeah, not 14,000. Sorry. So here's the thing. I still think this is an interesting data point. Okay? And whenever a property or a project elicits such a response, I think it's still worth talking about. Like, some people might say or take the stance that, oh, well, it's being targeted or review bombed, maybe, anti-SJW people that really don't like Reva or whatever, right? And I would just say, like, while that is fair and probably at least part of the story, it still means that a major corporation put out a piece of content that elicited such a response. And there are just clearly other properties that don't do that, right? And so, like, a lot of this stuff gets sort of like lost in the haze of, bull crappery. But at the end of the day, I think you got to ask yourself, as a company making mass appeal content, do you think it's a good thing to make content that elicits such a response? Okay. And I know, like, for some of you, this is a disconnect. For some of you, you're like, no, like, it's Star Wars is not culpable at all. Lucasfilm, not culpable at all. It's just the fans. And I just don't agree. You know what I mean? I just don't agree. I try to be super fair about all of these different things. But the bottom line is, even if this score is not accurate, it still reflects how the audience is feeling about the show. So, I just kind of wanted to bring that up because I do think it's a pretty interesting data point. Okay? Now, let's move on to something else. Now that we've put a little distance in between that, here's what I want next. Let me know in the chat now, on a score out of 10, how do you feel about the show overall so far? The first 3 episodes, not just episode 3, on the whole. How do you feel about the show? How do you feel? Give me a score out of 10 for the whole show so far. Okay, so got pretty high scores. Pretty high scores. A few 6s, a few 3s. I'd say pretty high scores so far from what I see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you got some 6s, you've got some lower ones, but you still have some pretty fairly high stuff. Interesting. Really interesting. I like getting this feedback from you guys so far. Okay. So that's pretty interesting. I'd say mid to high. Mid to high is where we're at overall, which I think is where we're at for the episode 3 as well, okay? Now, I guess the next question, right, is mid to high. I think we can kind of agree that's kind of where we're at, is mid to high. Here's the reality of the situation. For me personally, I expected, and we're going to talk all about expectations, because I hear you guys. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I try not to sometimes, I hear you guys. I hear you on Twitter. I hear you in the comment section. I hear you in these live streams. I hear you. Okay? Perhaps I had set my expectations too high. But I gotta be real. My expectations for the Kenobi show were that it would be the dopest dope I ever smoked. Okay? I thought you've got Kenobi, you've got Vader, you're bringing Hayden back, you're bringing Ewan back. A bridge, a beautiful bridge between the prequels and the OT. And yeah, so my expectations were just through the roof. Okay? And so what's weird and what's interesting is my expectations are absolutely not being met, but I still don't hate the show. So I'm not at a place where I think some of you guys are at, where you hate the show, you think it's trash or whatever, right? Like, you're really, really upset with it. You're like, nah, man, this ain't it, blah, 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 blah. Here's where I guess I'm at, is there's a lot I like in the show. A lot. It is not at the level that I was personally hoping for. And so there's a disconnect for me when looking at this show, because, like, part of me kind of feels like, and this is feelings, right? This is not like factual or analytical, but my feeling was Star Wars and, Kathy and everybody should really understand how important a show like this is, what is at stake. And frankly, it is not even of the caliber of The Mandalorian, which is so weird to me. Okay? That's weird to me, right? So let's go to Poll Town for the first time today. Let's go to Poll Town. This is a little bit unfair because we haven't seen the totality of the show yet, but we've seen what the show is. I would argue you know what the show is. It could turn up, but generally speaking, you've seen half of it so far. You know what it is. You know how they handle certain things. You know what the music feels like. You know what the performances feel like. You know how the pacing is for at least the half. So you know what the show is. Okay, you know what the show is. I want to know, do you think the Mandalorian is handled better than Kenobi? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Oh, wait, I didn't click it? Okay, boom. There we go. Vote in the poll. Let your voice be heard. $100% yes. What the fuck is that question? Well, I'm going somewhere with the question. I'm illustrating a point. I'm taking you on a journey. We're telling a story up here, you know? Relax. Go along for the ride. Okay. So I think the vast majority of us are saying and feeling The Mandalorian is way better. Well, I don't know if this next part, like where I'm going to take this, is going to connect with all of you or not. But for me, I just don't understand why that's not the case. Why Kenobi isn't at least on par with the Mandalorian. Because it's not as though Kathy and Lucasfilm doesn't have access to the same folks that they used to create Kenobi, right? For God's fucking sake, they got why am I blanking on her name? Director lady. It's not Chloe Zhao. For some reason, I want to say Chloe Zhao right now. Deborah Chow. For God's fucking sake, they scooped up one of the best directors from Mando Season 1. I would argue intentionally. So why the fuck aren't they grabbing up other people from Mando, especially when The Mandalorian hasn't even been on fucking television for 2 years? Why aren't they scooping up more of those people and doing what I would argue is production? Let me ask you guys this. Put into the chat right now, what do you think the job of a producer is? Just give me the TLDR. What's the job of a producer? What do you think a producer does on a show? What do you think? They produce. Well done. Someone get MCU Drew a gold star. They find the right people for the project. Thank you. That's the answer. They facilitate the bringing together of the different folks that handle the different elements of putting a show together. Okay? And maybe I'm just, again, too wild with my expectations. That's fair. That is fair. Maybe my expectations are just through the fucking roof, and I need to adjust them. But I'm having trouble understanding why all of the elements that were put together for Kenobi were not more carefully considered. And I don't understand how you can have one show that's produced. Like, Kathy's a producer on that show. Yeah, she brings John and David together. That's a big part of the fucking production. Bringing John and Dave together. So why are not more of the elements and the people that are at play for The Mandalorian at play for Kenobi? I think it's weird to me that the Kenobi show is not on par with The Mandalorian. I don't understand that. Like, as a fan, I have a hang up there. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's just honestly not how I think you should do things. Okay? So it's a weird situation because the Kenobi show is not bad. There's a lot of good stuff there. But I also like feel like it's really weird. Like, one of the things that we're going to talk about later, right, is the Fantastic Four. And Feige, for instance, like let me fanboy out on Feige for a little bit. All of you people that hate it when I simp for Feige, get your barf bags ready because I'm about to simp all over it. Okay. One of the criticisms of Marvel is that it's too formulaic, that creative vision or director vision is not given as much emphasis, and instead pre-established pieces and the overarching, I would call them like pillars of production remain very similar throughout a lot of these different projects, right? You have all of the costumes looking pretty similar. You have, generally speaking, the handling of the action scenes and the musical production, the editing, the pacing, the humor. It's all formulaic. You know what I mean? This is actually a criticism that is levied against Marvel. But, like, for me, as a Marvel fan, what that really means is that Feige, as a producer, identifies key people and factors that create the branding and the familiar feel of Marvel projects. You could argue that one of the reasons Phase 4 has felt a little flat or subpar compared to the other ones is that changes, and this includes more expression from different creatives, people, writers, directors, etc., has left the vibe, the feeling, the connective tissue a little bit behind. But we're literally about to talk about the Fantastic Four movie and Feige's list of directors and how he needs a big name, someone that he can trust. The phrasing of somebody, like, fuck it, let's just go to it right now. I'll show you this right now. This is really interesting, man. Okay, check this out. This is from The Hollywood Reporter. Or rather, Heroic Hollywood is where I'm on. Justin Knoll says here, this is the key sentence. Kevin Feige doesn't want oversee entire shoot. And after not having to worry about that with Raimi, he is very game to the same outcome with this shoot. So he doesn't want to micromanage the movie in a way that he micromanaged a lot of other movies. He understands how important this film is, mirroring an experience that he had with Multiverse of Madness. He's going after a similar thing, right? To me, it's like, that's a part of production. That's what you do as a producer, right? And so it's like, at the end of the day, here's the thing, man. I think that genuinely, I have to, if I really want to like enjoy the Star Wars content more, I have to sort of let go of the idea that they're going to be that on point. And at the end of the day, like, I can enjoy Kenobi for what it is, but this is not like, it's just not what I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? It's not what I ultimately desire for Star Wars or for the Star Wars brand. Now, having said that, though, I think a lot of Star Wars fans really like Kenobi, you know? And I think Kenobi is resonating with a lot of different people. And honestly, you know, like 100% real talk, I feel a little conflicted about that. Because on the one hand, I'm like, dude, that's great. And I want Star Wars to be successful, right? Like, I really do. Like, I'm actually not one of these people that enjoys making, contrarian content or enjoys doing culture war stuff or like shitting on Disney repeatedly or whatever. Like, I think you guys kind of know that by now. That's not really my thing. I've done like 3 or 4 Star Wars videos in the past 5 days. They've all done pretty well, actually. And the majority of them have a negative tone. And I'm not down. I don't like that. I'd rather do like my happy Star Wars videos or my happy Marvel videos, right? So it's like, on the one hand, I am glad that Star Wars is satisfying a lot of folks and that a lot of folks are really happy with this. But on the other hand, it's like, man, like if this is the bar to get Star Wars fans excited and hyped, then there's no incentive for Lucasfilm to chase greatness. There's no incentive for them to try to push the envelope and like do something fresh, exciting, and really risky. Like, why take risk and try to push Star Wars forward when you can essentially keep going back to familiar characters and familiar situations, and in my opinion, not even handling them with the care they deserve, and the outcome you're receiving is super good for you. Do you know what I mean? So, like, my feelings on it are like, man, like I'm conflicted. I'm like fucking Anakin right now, bro. Like, I'm like real conflicted because I don't want to shit in anybody's cereal. You know what I mean? I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. But I'm like really disconnected, from the show and from what is happening and all these different elements of it. It's not really where I thought we'd be, after 3 episodes. And so I guess that's just kind of my general take on it. And I think that's sort of the best way that I can break it down is like The Mandalorian, despite not being perfect, because it's not a perfect show either. It has, hit or miss episodes. It's got like weird stuff going on. I genuinely feel like every episode I'm in Star Wars. Like I'm back in that world. And just little things like Ludwig is so good. Like I'm not saying the music is horrible in Kenobi, but I'm saying like music's always been a super fucking important part of Star Wars. John Williams is the secret sauce. And I'm not getting those swells and those feelings in Kenobi. You know what I mean? The writing is so weird. You know what I mean? It's not... It doesn't feel like the care that John and Dave would have given to something. But then again, there is Book of Boba Fett, which does exist. So overall, man, I don't think it's a big secret that like Star Wars and I are kind of like on shaky ground or whatnot. And I'm trying to be like fair about it because it's not a shit show. It's not a bait and switch. It's not like all these things that a lot of people are saying. It just might be not that great, which is weird. Like I wanted greatness. In fact, let's go to Poll Town. I want to know. Should I stop expecting greatness from Star Wars? I want to know. I want to know. Poll Town, USA, baby. Poll Town! It's Poll Town, baby! Interesting. It's currently split 50-50. That I find that pretty interesting. I find that to be pretty interesting, man. Like I just want like when I got done watching what we have so far for Stranger Things, this newest season, I was blown away, dude. I was blown away. I was left thinking, literally, and this might sound so fucking weird or cringe to some of you, and that's fine. But I had this literal thought where I was literally grateful that I lived during a time when Stranger Things was created and aired. Like, it's real talk. I was like, dude, the Duffer Brothers and this crew, like they've done so many things with that show that are just so outstanding. The way they add new characters each season, and they don't feel like cringy add-ins or like weird shit that's being like injected. It feels awesome. The characters are on point. The world is consistent. The dialogue runs right up to that line of like comic book corniness while also being impactful and badass. It literally makes me feel so fucking good as a fan. I can binge that show in a whole weekend and not feel like, oh man, I'm a fat fuck Jabba Josh wasting his life over here, you know, whatever. No, I feel like, damn, I just had an experience, you know. And I feel like literally, like my fiance and I, like after we like binged it and shit, we were literally like, that was fucking awesome. Like we had an experience. You know what I mean? And, you know, Marvel has created that magic a lot for me as well. And, yeah. So perhaps my expectations and my outlook on it are weird and out there. But that's like, I just want Star Wars to be like hitting on that level. And Kenobi just is not. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's where we're at. That is where we're at. So, yeah, 50-50 on that, huh? 50-50. Do you think you'll still cover Star Wars after this? Oh, yeah, 100%. I thought about that a lot, too, you know, because I was like, man, you know, I've been kind of bummed and all that lately, and it's like I don't really like doing that or feeling like that and whatnot. But at the end of the day, man, like, look, my shining light on the hill is Dave Filoni over there, and also the possibility of Feige Star Wars, which I'm going to do a whole video on, probably drop over the weekend. It's going to be a big video. I'm going to have to get Fernie on it. Just kind of explaining like the big differences between Marvel and Star Wars and why I think Star Wars needs to lean in to Feige's film. So I'll make a whole video on that. But Dave Filoni and his projects are still a huge thing for me, and I love his sensibilities and what he does with Star Wars stuff. Even Kenobi, despite like not hitting that level of greatness, is still a really enjoyable show. And I'm having a fun time with you guys talking about it, having the discourse. A lot of it's been weird and toxic because that seems to linger on Star Wars as well. But at the end of the day, no, I'm not going to give up talking about Star Wars. If anything, I actually want to try to recalibrate so that I'm a little, I don't want to say like easier on it, but a little bit less, you know, maybe emotional and that kind of stuff. Because like I've said it many times, I am not rational when it comes to Star Wars. I think I am actually a pretty good example or sample of Star Wars fans rather, because I'm pretty fucking irrational about it. But yeah, I'm still gonna be there for Kenobi next week. Like again, it's not a shit show. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for their rematch, for Vader's rematch with Kenobi. I'm excited for the possibility of Quinlan Voss, you know, and the Jedi, this other like group of Jedi or whatever, right? So there's a lot of stuff I'm excited for, the video games, etc., etc. I love Star Wars, man. I fucking love Star Wars, dude. And Babu Frick, of course, Jedi Mike, of course. So no, we're still hanging in for Star Wars, and we're not gonna flip and get super toxic on it either. But it's like, yo, I got to be real. Like, I got to tell you how I feel about it, right? So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And my desire and my hope is that I think Star Wars will really... I guess I'll save a lot more of these thoughts for, like, the weekend or whatever. But, like, in the most non-toxic, non-confrontational way that I possibly can. My fear is that if... what they're doing right now is seemingly being rewarded, there's no incentive for them to change and get better. And I worry that if Kathy, like, man, I'll probably save this. I'll save this for the video because it's like, there's a couple scenarios, okay? There's like 3 scenarios. Probably the most likely scenario, Kathy just rides out her contracts and gives Michelle Rejwan the job, and we literally get the same pretty middle-of-the-road Star Wars for, like, probably the rest of my fucking life, right? Not the worst thing in the world, honestly, not. There'll still be gems. There'll still be good stuff. There'll be a lot of head scratchers. There'll be a lot of stuff that doesn't slap the way it should. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, right? Pretty unlikely scenario, but possible. The bad stuff from this current regime at Star Wars, especially if Kathy throttles and kills the Feige movie, because this is really what I want to focus on in my video over the weekend, is like, bro, I've heard some rumors that, like, Kathy has now turned into the perspective that she actually wants to not have Feige make this movie at all, or to not have him involved in Star Wars at all. And if that happens, and it could create a scenario in which literally no incredible talent really wants to come work at Star Wars anymore, and you get kind of shitty Star Wars for a long time. That's also possible, although I think not as likely, because people just love Star Wars so much that hopefully there'll be some brave souls willing to go through the gauntlet of working with Kathleen in an attempt to try to create great content. So, at least that's unlikely. Unfortunately, I also think pretty unlikely as well would be, like, for Star Wars to really shift and to either elevate John and Dave to, like, this total control position, or bring in Kevin, or do something. You know, I guess what I'm really looking for is, like, here's where we turn. Here's our shift. Here's the new strategy. Here's all this. Because unfortunately, Celebration kind of showed me that they just want to do business as usual. They want to act like a lot of the criticisms and issues and problems out there don't exist. They want to downplay them. And I really don't think that's a good strategy. So those are the three scenarios, in my opinion. So, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm sure we've got some feelings. I'm sure there's some takes in the chat. Let me do a thing here before we get into the super chats and all that, which we will, and I think it'll be freaking awesome. Super fun times ahead for everybody. We got to give away a $200 GameStop gift card to a lucky Nerd Venger member. So if you've been on the fence about becoming a member, you could still do it right now and be eligible. And it would be absolutely hilarious if a brand new member from just today won the gift card. Everyone would hate you. I'd kind of chuckle. You know, I'm kind of like a pot stirrer, kind of a little shit. So I would think it would be very funny, but everyone would hate you. But you would have $200 for GameStop as well. So, you know, you got to weigh your, just weigh it out. Just give it a nice weigh. Okay, so I believe here, since we have currently 826 members. By the way, thank you guys so much. I don't talk about this as much as I should, but the membership really does keep us stable here, allow us to, you know, either miss a day or have an off video or have YouTube's bullshit come in and it doesn't really disrupt us. It's, you know, we don't really do a lot of advertising and stuff like that. Like, we're probably going to dip our toes back into that soon, but we don't really do or rely on a lot of that stuff. So the membership's absolutely huge, vital, important part of what we do here. And we do try to give a lot back to our members as well. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's a member. You guys continue to just really give us the backbone and the support that we need. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. So we've got 826 members. What I believe that will mean is we'll have 9 different pages. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9 different pages. Okay, so the first thing we got to do, and I always love doing this. Some of you guys hate it the way I do this, but I always think it's fun. Okay. Here we go. First, we're going to roll a d6. If it is odd, we'll start from page 1. If it is even, we'll start from page 8. Oh, and we got a bunch of new members. Hey, Booza, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Austin Flores, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Stephen Parker, you are. Oh man, I'm gonna laugh so hard if one of you guys gets it. And I actually should refresh this then, just to make sure. Hang on. Let me refresh this. Thank you guys so much for supporting, and I will laugh and people will rage if one of you wins the gift card. Just gonna be real. Okay, that's a bunch of new members. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Okay, so yeah, we still got 9 pages. So here's the deal. We've got a roll. If it's an odd, we'll start on page 1. If it's an even, we go from page 9. Boom. It is even. We start from page 9. Okay, here we go. This is page 9. Next thing we roll, D10. And we'll discard the 10 if it... Oh, wait, you guys can't even see it. Shit. There's the 2 that I rolled. Let's do a D10. This will denote the page. By the way, a lot of you that just joined up, you're going to need a 9 here. You're going to need me to roll a 9. So let's see what we roll. Boom. Page 2. Okay, page 2. So here we go. 1. This is 2. Somebody on this page, which I think is mostly really old members actually, will receive the $200 gift card. Now, if you see your name on this page, you're eligible. Is that Stevie? Okay, Stevie's excluded. Stevie's not allowed. Everybody else is good, though. Okay, we're going to start from the top. I'm going to roll a D100. This will denote who wins the gift card. 47. That feels like that was close to Stevie. I don't like it. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is OG. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is Chris. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is Logan. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 is Ludu Film. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 is Virtuoso. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. 39 is Orlando Wolf. 39, we're at 47, right? Okay, so 39 is Mr. Wolf. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 is the Notorious. Oh my God. Is it going to be Stevie? I'm going to lose my mind. We got 2 more under this. Bloop, bloop. It's Charlie. Charlie Donahue. Right? He'd be 47, yes? Because this was 45. So 47, it is Charlie Donahue. That is so freaking awesome. By the way, I know this will rage out a lot of you guys as well. We have done 1 official Den of Nerds NFT. Oh, I know. Go ahead. Let it out. Let the anger out. It was before the internet turned on NFTs, actually. But go ahead. Let the anger out. And Charlie Donahue is actually the holder of said NFT. So there you have it. Let the rage out. Let it out. Here we go. Let the rage. Where's the NFT hate? Yeah. Here it is. Here it is. Yes, I want to destroy the planet with digital technology. Yeah, man. I might go set a tree on fire myself today. Yep. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Let it out. Let it out. Okay. Cool. Good talk. Good talk. Okay. Charlie, congratulations, man. Hit me up. Hit me up. We'll get you that $200 GameStop gift card, bro. A lot of fun stuff at GameStop right now, so I think you will quite enjoy it, my friend. I think you will quite enjoy it. Okay, let's get into the Q&As. We got to get going on this. Okay, Craig Rode Jr. is the first in today. Actually, I apologize, Craig. There were a couple that came in before I switched the dealie over. So let me pull that up and get to those ones first. Real quick. Just real quick. Real quick, everybody. Real quick. Don't worry about it. Real quick. We're going to be so quick. Let me get it in. Let me get it pulled up here. Let me get it pulled up here. Let me pull it up here. Let me get into it here. Let me pull it up here. Let me get into it here. Okay, so Brandon Russell was actually first in today. He came in with a $10. Said, love the episode. Vader let Obi-Wan get away, so he will lead Vader to his allies so he can kill them in front of Obi. Also calling it now, Quinlan Vos saved Grogu. First of all, appreciate the 10, man. That's really sweet. And also, yes, Quinlan Vos maybe saved Grogu. That's freaking sweet, man. I'm actually so hyped up about that side of what happened that I'm going to do a whole big video on it, big theory thing. So look out for that video later. And also, I will say, when I watched the episode the second time, it does really seem like Vader in that moment is, yes, he is aware of what is going on, and he does want Kenobi to get away because he wants to follow him. Okay, so that is, I like it a little bit better because at least in the show, it seems like, yeah, that's what they're setting up. I still don't like it from a writing perspective because, bro, he should be so mad and enraged at that point. That, like, fuck that. Like, he's not worried about plans, you know? He's not worried about scheming. He's not worried about these other Force sensitive. He should not give a fuck about any of that. But I can meet you sort of halfway there and say, like, yeah, it does feel like that's what's set up in the show. Okay, so Craig Rhodes says, I've seen fan films better than this show. The show is two different shows crammed together. Obi-Wan is a guest star. I should write an apology letter to George Lucas for slamming the prequels. You should. And I will say, just in general, Lucasfilm under Disney's handling of Star Wars, I think really did show people that the prequels were not as bad as we thought. And that there was at least a sort of vision there, right? I definitely don't feel the same way as you do, Craig. Like, you seem really, really negative on the show. I understand it. I'm not quite there. But, yeah, I can't really hate you for what you're saying there. Kroll says, as a member for 7 months, I like the episode. Just the end of the episode made no sense. Nerd Vengeance for life. Yeah, I think he's gonna follow Kenobi now. I don't love it, but I do think that that's the logic of it. Detoxing for life says, Anakin, it's over. Kathleen Kennedy has the high ground. Oh shit, bro. That's an example of just trying to trigger me, and it worked. MTS 1993 says, did you see the Marvel MMO from Daybreak got canceled? I did. And that's a bummer, bro. I will say that. That's a bummer. But look, all of my MMO eggs are in the Ashes of Creation basket. Anybody following that? Anybody excited for the old Ashes of Creation? Yo, do me a favor. Put one into the chat. If you know about Ashes of Creation. Are you all anybody excited for Ashes? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Bueller? No? Nobody? Nobody plays MMOs anymore? Yeah, okay. Old Head Mike's Metalcore and More says, love the show despite... there's like a bunch of twos and stuff coming in. Love the show despite the acting and dialogue flaws. By the way, when Obi-Wan hurts his hand the first fight, it's supposed to be a piercing his hand on dude's horns. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, you're an alpha tester, Booza? Nice, man. Hit me up. Hit me up, dog. I'm gonna be playing the shit out of that, and I'm gonna really request that a lot of Nerd Vengers sign up for Ashes of Creation and help me to conquer the world. AK Green says, I don't have any issues with the show thus far. However, I'm having a hard time overlooking the lower budget production value of the Disney Plus series. Yeah, it's weird, right? Like, it's weird. Like, I saw somebody bring up in chat earlier, like, I guess Stranger Things had a budget of, like, over $200 million, but Kenobi has a budget of, like, $90 million. But why? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Just chill out a couple fucking more millions, you cheap bastards. Anyway, Gavin says, I like Kenobi so far, but in episode 3, why the fuck would Vader let Obi go? I feel like he wouldn't just let him go like that after 10 years of looking. Yeah, I have a big problem with it. You know what I mean? Like, I have a big problem with it. But I tell you, I don't hate it as much as the first time I watched it. The first time I watched it, it triggered the shit out of me. But upon watching it again, it at least makes sense in the context of the show if you like forget about all the other shit that you know, right? And this is the thing. The show is setting up moments, and I'm actually going to kind of defend the show a little bit here because it's not necessarily the show's fault. The show is trying to set up very good moments and following the logic of just being a great television show that is about these things. It's not necessarily as concerned about being the perfect piece of Star Wars canon. And I can kind of see why, right? So, like, I'm going to go a little easier on that moment than I would have before because it at least follows its own logic, the logic it's set up. It's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. John Parker says, bro, Vader snapping necks, hell yeah, take my money. Yeah, that shit was sick, dude. That shit was sick. I like that a lot. Joby1 says, have you seen the fan-made Alec Guinness Kenobi versus Vader fight concept? I believe that fight is better than the fight in Episode 3 of Kenobi. Oh, yeah. I can't argue with you there, bro. I can't argue with you there. That the fight was not good, in my opinion. Now, you could say that this is because Kenobi sucks, and he's so bad that Vader's literally like, I thought I was going to get to do flips and cool shit, but you're literally pathetic or something, right? You know, you can make that argument. But as a Star Wars fan, again, I'm like looking at this fight like, bro, what is this? This is not, it's not great. So, yeah, kind of a mixed bag there. NW Ant says, the last episode felt cheap and fan-made at parts. Another desert planet, and some of Vader's lines felt like quotable cash grabs. Damn. I mean, I can't necessarily argue with you, bro. Like, why did they just drive out of the fucking city of Los Angeles, find a cool spot in the desert, and say, let's film some Star Wars here? Like, I'm real tired of that. I'm going to be honest. I thought the location was so uninspired. Sozin's comment says, in my opinion, they are mishandling the major character moments. Obi finding out Vader is alive from Reva felt weird, and the rematch of the century was on a boof Tatooine that didn't feel as epic as it should. I can't argue with that. Josh, and I do appreciate the 10 spot, by the way. Josh has joined as a member. Josh Gill, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. Trev says, are you suggesting Star Wars and other companies design shows to stir controversy? Anything to get eyeballs on it? No, not exactly. That's not exactly what I'm saying. I don't think they're doing it because they think the controversy is important. I think they're doing it because they view the controversy as completely unfounded and coming from a group of horrible people. I literally think that. I think a lot of the people at Lucasfilm have this idea, which I do think is a warped idea, that everybody that wouldn't like Reva is racist. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like they do have that kind of a perspective. It's not that they think that the controversy is important. It's that they don't view the controversy as relevant, and therefore they can't pick apart their own shit to see where maybe there are actual disconnects or problems with it. It's like a weird. It's a Lucasfilm problem. Never Lose Your Nerd says, Vader letting him go was kind of weak. Loving Kenobi. Yeah, I agree. Peter B. Parker says, this was my fear, that they would mess it up. And lo and behold, I just can't believe how bad that fight was. 3 episodes left, but I have a little hope. Okay, so here's the thing. I'll say this. Technically speaking, this show is what my worst fear of it was going to be. Okay? Technically speaking. Again, I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm not trying to go too hard on it. But my worst fear going into Kenobi was that it was going to feel like a corporate-y, lackluster, watered-down Disney Star Wars version of Kenobi. That it was going to feel, instead of an awesome, organic exploration of these characters at this time, that it was going to essentially feel like, let's put all these cool toys together, fuck canon, let's have some fun. So, again, not trying to go crazy on it, but unfortunately, Kenobi thus far is exactly what my worst fear of it was going to be, from my opinion. That's, of course, just my opinion. John Van Gelderan, love that name, Jr. says, I don't want to be that guy, but were the scripts that Kathleen Kennedy turned down better than what we are getting now? Not really sure, man. It's kind of hard to say. There has certainly been a lot of production woes with the movie or with the show. It's hard to say exactly. I do think the writing is very weak, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that wasn't identified. You know what I mean? But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm also like kind of surprised at the directing. I think Deborah Chow is an absolute stud, and there are moments here, like there are moments that are incredible, but there are other moments that are head scratching. You know, and I'm like, where's the Chow I know? You know what I mean? Where's the Chow I know? Detoxing for Life says, what show is worse, Book of Boba Fett or Obi-Wan Kenobi? That's a good question. Let's go to Poll Town for that one. What was better after 3 episodes? Book of Beta Fett or Obi Lame? I want to know. Let me know, chap. Man, some of you guys are so mad in chat. Like, it's okay. You'll be fine. Yeah, I'd have to agree with the class on this. I think that Kenobi is better than Boba Fett after 3 episodes. Boba Fett after 3 episodes was like head scratching. Now, Kenobi's head scratching too, but there's at least a lot of dope fun stuff in here, right? So yeah. that's what I'll say. That's my answer. Detoxing. Oh, that was your question there. I think the problem is we are only 6 episodes. I mean, maybe we'll have to see. The back half could be absolutely amazing, right? The answer is John and Dave aren't fully in charge. I mean, I agree, but that begs the question, why aren't they? You know, why aren't they brought on as consultants? Why weren't they brought on to produce? Neither one of them are listed as producers for this show. Why? Whose decision was that? You know? Lucasfilm needs to hire a continuity expert to keep stupid things, killing the Grand Inquisitor, from happening. Keeping canon is important to fans. I think they are far past that, personally. Like, I would love to, I care about canon. I mean, I think I do. I don't even know at this point, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think they are quite past that. Let's go to Poll Town again. Let's go to Poll Town. I'm having so much fun with these polls. Because they're on the way to Dragon Ball canon. They're on the way to Dragon Ball canon, which is like, who fucking cares? What canon? Okay. Do you think Kenobi will address the Grand Inquisitor death? Do you think they're even going to address it, other than what we have so far? Do you think Kenobi will address the Grand Inquisitor death? Oh, I love Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball doesn't have canon. There is no real Dragon Ball canon. Ask Geekdom about this. Danny will do a full 2 hours about this. There is no canon. They just have fun. Yeah, Neil, you know it. They addressed it in the sense that he's dead. Are they going to address it after this, other than him just being dead? Okay, let's be fair. Maybe that was a bad poll. Let me change this. Let me change this poll. Let's say bad poll. It was all crooked. Didn't like it. Okay. Will Kenobi explain that the Grand Inquisitor is not dead? That's the poll. That's the poll. I think we might do Nerd Theory tonight. I'm gonna ask Theory about it. I'll hit him up later. He's probably sleeping. He's got Sugar Plum Fairies and Hayden Christensen's rolling around his head right now. So let the man sleep. Everyone jump on Josh's poll. Yeah, but not with the heels though. You know, no cleats, no rugged terrain shoes. You know. I prefer, like, slippers, you know, stuff like that. So. I'm not going to talk about the leaks, guys. I see some people talking about the leaks. We're not going to, for the purposes of this video, as much as we can, it's like Men in Black that shit. Like, forget that. Forget what you think you know. Okay, so 60% of you think that they will address the Grand Inquisitor being alive. I hope that they do, but I doubt that they will. Like, I'm just going to be real with you. I hope that they do. I doubt that they will, bro. They're going to make you go buy some novel or comic book that explains it, in my opinion. And that's not even a dig on them. That's fucking precedence. That's pattern recognition. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Inked Vader says, Kenobi has tons of good Star Wars stuff. I think it will be good overall, but some of the beats in 3 with Vader felt slow, clunky. Location felt like a fan film. Yeah, I really didn't love it. But it's all good. Pretty Nikki says, Josh is really hurting a lot of butts with his take on the show. Don't let them how you feel about the Batman, bro, or some may lose it. Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. You guys know I don't like the Batman by now, right? You guys know I gotta... Put a 1 into the chat if you know how I feel about Midman, hockey pad wearing, one note. Literally, the character's 1 note. The score's 2 notes. Midman. Cool. Moving on. Smoking Mad Pot says, get. And do you think Mando would have, I don't know what this is, I probably misspelled something, would have been good with only 6 episodes? We had time to fall in love with the Mando series as a whole. That's kind of a good point, I guess. I think Mando's just great, though. You know, I would say the majority of the pieces that were put together to create that show were just better. You know what I mean? It's okay, he thinks Man of Steel is a good movie. No, Oliver, that's actually incorrect. I think Man of Steel is a masterpiece. Do you want me to go get my Man of Steel posters? I have Man of Steel poster. Man of Steel is not good. Man of Steel is great. Man of Steel is a masterpiece. Okay, Inked Vader says, either way, Kenobi not unifying IP we hoped. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, after the leaks, I kind of was like, that's not going to happen. But, Man of Mid? Oh, you motherfuckers. Oh, you motherfuckers. Damn. I Am Donovan says, my expectations weren't, and by the way, thanks for the 10, brother, says, weren't high because a fan of the OG I didn't like / hated the prequels. So like the Clone Wars, Kenobi is a pleasant surprise. I don't love breaking canon at all in Kenobi. Fair take, brother. Fair take. Up and down. That's a fair take, and I appreciate the support. John says, I literally went and binged some Rebels just to wash the taste of dumb Inquisitors out of my mouth. I might have to do the same. Carl says, Kenobi is fun. The story holes are just killing it. It literally makes no sense and doesn't respect previous content. Yeah, I think that's, honestly, that might trigger some of you guys. That's a fucking charitable take from a charitable individual. Carl, very positive guy. So you know when they're losing Carl like that, we're in a little bit of a trouble here. But... never mind, I'm not going to say it. MCU Drew, at this point in filmmaking, it's almost impossible to compare anyone to Feige. God among men. Look, I agree with you, but he wants to come help. That's the thing. I agree with you. Shit, Kennedy agrees with you. She said that he was an anomaly to Vanity Fair. Well, then why aren't you accepting his help? That's where the disconnect is for me. Like, I understand he is a anomaly, but he also loves Star Wars more than he loves Marvel. More than he loves Marvel. Okay, we'll talk about that in that other video. But anyway, John says, no Disney Plus show on par with Mando. I agree, in my opinion. Loki and WandaVision were close. I agree with that. A lot of intrigue in Mando timeline. Kenobi feels like it has to be perfect because it's a tight fit. Yeah, that's totally fair, John. Up and down fair. And I think that's actually part of the problem is like, real talk. This is what I was saying this. I think it would actually be better if Star Wars made a Quinlan Vos show. Like, literally better, less connection to, like, big, important canon things. Little things that would change with him would be okay. Him having memories of Asajj. You know what I mean? Like, dude, Dark Disciple and some of that shit in there. Like, I legit think it would be better for them to make a Quinlan Vos show. Because, like, you're talking about fucking Obi-Wan and Vader. Like, there is so much there. There's so much attachment. There's so many opinions, feelings, things that can trigger people. Just do the Quinlan Vos show, bro. Like, that would be better. Oh, my God, it's BJ with a $10 holla. Thank you, brother. Says, I noticed that when audiences felt MOM was lackluster, we blamed it on their high expectations. But for Kenobi, we blamed it on Lucasfilm producing. I don't get why they are different. I think that's fair, but I personally, I'm going to be honest with you. This is my take on this. I know a lot of people did blame MOM's the divisive nature, like, let's be real, it's a divisive movie, on fan expectations. I don't think that's what was going on there, right? And I tried to bring this up in, like, my coverage of it, because what I saw personally, and this is just me, what I saw was a bunch of people bringing that up, sort of gaslighting or making a straw man, and basically being like, bro, it's all these people that had their expectations. But I don't feel that way. I didn't have those expectations, but that's what's going on there. And I saw that a lot with a lot of people being like, it was fan expectations. It was fan expectations. I don't agree with that. I think that there are things that happen in Multiverse of Madness that I think do create a rift, right? Like, I love that movie. That's my second favorite Marvel movie. I think it's a masterpiece. But it's also, like, really horrifying. It's a horror movie, Scarlet Witch goes hard as the villain. It's brutal. For some people, they didn't love that, There's just a lot of different things going on in there. I don't actually think it's expectations. When it comes to a Kenobi show, I would also argue that you have built-in expectations. You have taken two of the most prominent and popular Star Wars characters ever. You have done a rematch, which in some ways already pissed people off and was like, nah, you can't do that. You did the thing that you're maybe not supposed to do with the characters you're maybe not supposed to touch. I'm telling you, that comes with expectations that are on high. My brother in Christ, are you trying to tell me that Star Wars fans should not have had expectations through the roof for the Kenobi show? I don't know about that. The real Jesse Lee Reed says, by the way, it's a good thing that unmanned automated cargo ship had sufficient life support system for 2 human stowaways. That's a good point. And also he followed up and says, that greatness you want from Star Wars won't happen until Lucas gives KK the boot and shows her to the door. She is incredibly out of touch with the fans. I agree with this. I also just don't know that that's going to happen. I don't see how that's going to happen. So I think our best hope is for something else. But yeah, we'll see. Lord Vito says, I honestly think it's different strokes for different folks. I love Kenobi, but I fell asleep during Endgame. Still, Snyder is the best. I think that is an untold part of it. I appreciate you bringing that up. And yeah, I think that there are probably people that, when I spoke earlier of the Marvel formula, right, Veed? For me, it works. For me, it feels very comic books, and I'm like down. For some people, they hate it, bro. Some people hate it. They actively hate the Marvel formula where they're like, bro, why are they always like joking and being light about shit? Why do all their costumes look the same? Some people hate that shit. And I would never tell a person that just straight up hates it like you're wrong. No, like that's your vibe. That's your taste. That's your thing. And that's all good too. Big Stevie W comes in to scold me. Says, need to remember that this is one long movie broken into parts. It was written to be watched as a movie. I think once it's aired completely, it will make more sense. I think that's fair. I think that's fair, Stevie. But also, what do you want me to say after week 3? You want me to just repeat what you just said over and over again? We're trying to put on a goddamn show over here. Love of Film says, Andor will be the best Star Wars content. That would That would be pretty wild. You know what I mean? That would honestly be pretty wild. Brian Clark says, it's nitpicky, but did it seem odd to you that a Jedi would use civilian as a shield like Ben did with Freck? That didn't really stick out to me. I understand that it is, but for you, but I don't understand. I didn't like Freck, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not like Freck. I was like, okay. But yeah. Okay, Nate says, Star Wars needs someone in power that will bring synergy between all medias and keep the stories and projects consistent. A Feige, like we've been saying all along. Yes, I agree with that. But here's the thing. If you can't get that and you can't recreate that, you need to at least attempt to have a singular vision, right? So, yeah. Big Stevie says, Star Wars is not going to change because your view is in the minority. Most fans really like Kenobi. I actually kind of said that earlier. So, yeah, I actually agree. I think that it is very possible that my problem with Star Wars is actually a me problem, okay? I'm totally aware of that. But that doesn't change how I feel about it. And I also think that although a minority, there are people that have either similar or exactly the same kind of feelings. And so I'm going to continue to express my opinions about this. You know what I mean? But I think that is actually fair because, again, if most of the people are loving it and Star Wars is doing big numbers and crushing it, like, of course they're just going to keep doing that, you know? Rupert says, Andor will be valid storytelling, but Star Wars failed making a legacy by ruining its larger universe potential with overwriting its small community of characters. Interesting take. Interesting take, man. And thank you for the 10. I'm pretty excited to see Andor. I'm very hopeful that it'll feel really good. But you know what's going to be weird is, like, what if Andor is great, but just feels really different than a lot of other Star Wars? That's kind of like what I think might happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, it might be really cool, but also have its, like, own unique feeling and vibe that might not be replicated in any other project other than Andor Season 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, maybe that's good enough, you know, to Stevie's point earlier. Like, maybe most people would be like, that's awesome. For me, I'm like, bro, why? Gundam says, what's your favorite fan fiction, favorite faction / character in Warhammer 40K? So here's the thing. I don't play Warhammer 40K. I'm not super familiar with the lore. I've been on a deep dive. I went on a rabbit hole with the lore only because there's a Magic the Gathering Commander set coming out for them. So I'll tell you that I think the Necron lore is very fascinating. The Emperor of Man is a fascinating character as well. The Space Marines are also crazy cool. Very, very fun stuff there. So that's the best I can do. I don't even know really much else other than that. A lot of new members. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Hey, hey, man. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I appreciate that. Rayumbo says, Josh, my man, your haircut is looking fly. Hey, thanks, bro. I'm with you on Kenobi. Not the best thing ever, but certainly not the worst. I need Vader to go crazy. Yes, I'm hoping Vader does go crazy so I can be like, let's go. You know? Big Red Exilineal says, with a 10 spot, I don't see many people wanting to come play in Star Wars after Moses treatment because it shows so much that even with all the good we're getting now, nothing has changed and the fans will never be pleased. I mean, I disagree with that take, but I can't argue that. So, like, here's my thing on this. By the way, I think the video we did, what was it, like 2 days ago, maybe, about the Moses thing, I think it's actually really spot on. So I highly recommend you go check that video out for my full thoughts on this. But I'll say this. I think that the portion of fans out there that chose to rage about Lucasfilm's past transgressions or equate them standing up for Moses as attacking the fans, I do think that there's a weird, outlandish derangement that's going on there that is stupid. Like, I totally get it. Like, people wanted to bring up, like, you know, the John Boyega China situation. Dude, of course that shit's horrible. But why are you bringing that up in the face of defending Moses from racist attacks? That's fucking stupid. Like, I get that they did that before. You're not gonna. I'm not gonna shy away from the fact that Lucasfilm, Disney, they fucked up. They fucked up numerous times, dude. They're not the arbiter of morality, but at the same time, they choose to stand up for an actress that's literally getting harassed, and a lot of y'all are like, they're attacking the fans, bro. That shit's weird. That's like an example of taking a lot of truth and winding it into a narrative that's like so detached from reality that it just I can't jive with it, right? So I guess that's the best I could do is kind of meet you halfway on that, because I don't think that the Moses treatment is affecting people wanting to come into Star Wars. It's Kathy and that regime, bro. Because like you might see on social media, all the Moses stuff and think that's what's going on, bro. People in Hollywood, it's like they talk to each other, right? And so, like, if you're in that game and you're a person there, like, you're all talking to each other. I think one of the most revealing interviews about this was one of the Ant-Man writers, and I believe he's actually, he was a Rick and Morty guy with Michael Waldron. And when he was talking about how he thought Michael Waldron was the perfect guy for Star Wars, but he didn't know if he would jive with that regime over there, with Kathleen Kennedy's regime. That was really telling because it showed me that a lot of people that are up and coming in Hollywood that want to break in for a big project or whatever, they literally view working for Lucasfilm and working for Kathleen as a horrible fucking process. That's way more like, and you could relate to this, right? If you're, whatever you do for a living or whatnot, right? There's probably people you trust in that industry that if they told you some shit, you would believe them. So Lucasfilm has a problem that escapes the majority of just normies online that are like, oh, man, it's this, that, second, and the third. Nah, bro. It's the people talking not publicly about how horrible it is to work for Lucasfilm that is creating the problems. So there you go. That's the full take. But I appreciate the 10. Dirty says, if you think Kenobi is mid, just wait for AKs in Andor. Oh, God. MPS, do you think there will be more of a conversation around the animated being better for Star Wars? Yeah, that's actually a fair take, Dirty. By the way, I hope you're doing well, bro. Yeah, I think that's fair, especially if these two next, like, Bad Batch really got to slap hard, bro. Like, season 2, let's go, Mike Jokey Porter, member for 2 years, says, hey, has it been 2 years yet? And yes, it has, Mike. And thank you. Axe, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Christian Smith says, hey, Josh, love the show. Keep it up. I've been enjoying Kenobi, but that Stranger Things finale was the best Star Wars we've had since Dune. Oh, my God. W take, dude. W take. Kylo Ren, $1. Thanks. OmniFan says, you telling me all Spidey had to do was pay Tony $5? What? What? Come again? Red Bandit Films member for 4 months says, I like what Debbie Chow has done with Kenobi thus far, but she needs to up her game with those chase sequences. That ish be looking like a cartoon, bruh. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's bad. Machine Gun Carter says, what's your take on the moon landing being faked? The moon landings that were shot on television, I think were fake. But I do think we went to the moon. We just probably couldn't film it. Probably wasn't the priority. And yes, I do think that, what's his face? Who's the guy? Who am I trying to think? Who's the thing? What's the guy? Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick. I do think Stanley Kubrick absolutely helped the government shoot the man landing. Mr. Zaz says, LMAO, I still play old school RuneScape. My man. People love RuneScape. Matthew Spiro says, yo, Josh, you think we can see Reva or any other Inquisitors in Bad Batch Season 2? Could expand her character a little bit more. I can't talk about that because of the leaks, but yeah, that would be cool. William says, he has Leia. He can force Obi-Wan to come to him. Okay. If Vader's suit is nearly indestructible, how did Luke set it on fire? Oh, man. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. Maybe they set the fire at the end of that movie, and Luke stood there for like a couple hours, and he was like, yo, wait, is this shit like not burning? And then he like figured it out, right? maybe that. Old Head Mike's Metalcore on Mole says, we wouldn't have these types of shows without Stranger Things. It will always be something special. Bro, yeah, Stranger Things is definitely special. And you're right. It did sort of set the tone for streaming, huh? I Am Donovan says, stop hating me on Twitter. I don't think I hate many folks on Twitter, bro. But if I do, you probably earned it. JJ Lemon says, Vader's first fight with Luke was very similar, wasn't it? Also, lets him get away. Not as many folks know the hardcore comic Vader. Look, I get you, bro, but let me just respond to it this way. I want to respond to it this way. After the episode of episode 3, I ended the watch party. I sat there and I sat with my feelings about it. And I thought about all these different things. And I came to the conclusion, and I'm not saying that you guys have to come to this conclusion or whatnot, but I came to the conclusion that I'm really tired of like trying to trick myself into liking a thing I don't like. I'm really tired of pulling for other reasons and sort of like a debate class setup to try to make sense of something that didn't work for me. I'm tired of trying to pretend that I didn't like something that I didn't like. And so while I do understand many of you coming up with reasons or trying to explain the problems that I had with the episode away, I'm so past that. I just didn't like it, dude. And that's okay. Like, that should be okay, too. So I feel you, brother. But, yeah. Mando22 says, Tiger Woods isn't as good after his years off compared to his prime. So expecting Kenobi to go sicko mode in the first fight doesn't seem fair. Yeah, that's not really what I expected. So I get you, but yeah, no, that's fair. Dr. Zaz says, years ago, I wished a Kenobi show/movie would happen, as did we all. And halfway through the show, I'm unimpressed and wish they waited longer to push it out. Unpolished, poor writing, but whatever. I honestly, and this is another thing, I actually don't think more time would have helped the show, dude. Like, I think this is the version of Kenobi they ultimately wanted to make. You know? So, yeah. Dave and John are in charge. John threw out the OG script. That's a rumor that's not confirmed by anybody, bro. And I've heard that rumor too. In fact, I heard that rumor from Mark Fernandez. And I get it, and I've heard that. But John is not listed as a producer on the show. Officially speaking, John had nothing to do with this show. So, yeah. The Shoemeister says the dialogue sounds like it's from those crappy 1970s after-school specials, and the sets look like they are from a 60s show like Lost in Space. To be fair, though, you could say that about the original Star Wars as well, right? But I get you. Mike Jokey Porter says, did you know that the Grand Inquisitor has 500 stomachs? Oh my God, bro. It all makes sense now. Quantum something I'm not going to say says, I'm not into Kenobi at all. Makes me sick to admit. Oh, man. Hope you got a bucket. Ham Solo. Ham Solo might be my favorite name/profile picture I've ever seen. Do you see this? It's literally a ham dressed up like Han Solo. That's amazing. Is it possible they retcon Rebels entirely? Yeah. I think it's possible, dude. Ryder Die says, I have a question. Why do we all speak with British accents when we're from outer space and there's no British? Thumb Wars. I believe, and that's hilarious, but I believe that has to do with Coruscant and the core worlds. Peter B. Parker says, go see Top Gun Maverick, one of the best movies. I've heard it's great. I want to check it out. Sean. Oh, no, we lost Sean. Sean says, the fight was like Luke's fight from Empire Strikes Back, and a whole Star Wars thing is rimming. So, as much as we don't like the outcome and how Vader acted, it rimmed. You talk about rhyming? All right, somebody needs to make a meme for me. Of George Lucas saying, it's like poetry. It rimmed. Can somebody help me out with that? Old Head Mike says, Grand Inquisitor isn't real. It's actually Snoke. Yeah, that'll be out in the third art book of next year. IJ says, we only get one shot at this show with Ewan and Hayden. Can't settle for mediocrity and them throwing all logic out the window. Fair. Detoxing for Life says A4 will be great because it will be like Mando series with no expectations or minimum expectations. That's what the part of Kenobi. Huge budget issues. Yeah. Fair. MCU Drew says, what are you saying about the regime being the reason Hollywood is staying away from Star Wars? Proof of your statement is how everyone wants to join Marvel. Yeah. I think that's nail on head. Big Stevie says, I definitely think the treatment of Moses will make minority talent think twice before joining Star Wars. Brother, I want to say this in the nicest way I possibly can. I think that most minority folk, and this is just my opinion, but I think most minority folk are pretty aware and ready for treatment that is adverse at every stage of their life. And I don't think that this happening for Star Wars is surprising to them or really affects their decisions. That's just my take on it. But I do understand where you're coming from. K9 says, yeah. Night me, Papa Josh. K9, you are a Nerd Venger now. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. Frostro Drama says, hey, Josh, love you and this channel. Only one I watch daily. How hyped are you for The Boys tomorrow? Oh, my God, I forgot about The Boys. Let's go. Also, how did Reva teleport to the end of the tunnel? Well, Reva has force abilities and powers that you can't even fathom, that have not been even invented yet. So there's that. How hyped am I for The Boys tomorrow? Pretty fucking hyped, but I actually forgot that it's coming out tomorrow. So I'm excited. That'll be really cool. Let's see here. Are all guns in Star Wars real guns with sci-fi? Yes, that's actually fair. Need to take a drink here. Ink Vader said, oh, yeah, we went over that. Christopher says, I think Lucasfilm has been stronger on Disney Plus than Marvel has. I agree. In my humble opinion, but I respect your view. Love you, man. No. We actually agree on that. But the thing is, the Marvel shows, here's the take, right? The Marvel shows have not been of the quality I wanted. I am a little bit let down on that, but they're still doing like 2-3 movies a year. I like a lot of the movies. The shows are not holding my entire experience of the fandom in their hands. So with Star Wars saying, well, we'll make a movie someday, and having the shows be the most important front-facing part of the whole experience of being a fan, they hold so much more weight, right? So Marvel shows can be mid, and it's fine. You know? I want them to be better too, though, to be fair. Genesis says with a $7 super chat, morning, Josh. I'm with you 100% on Kenobi. Not sure why people are telling us not to overanalyze the fight. In my opinion, this one of the most important encounters ever. I'm with you on that, but I also get where other people are at. I mean, look, nobody likes the thing they like to be shit on, right? So I understand that, and I'm not trying to do that, right? So I get it. Sean Wilberg says, sorry, rhyme, not rim. Oh, no, it's all good, bro. You gave us a good chuckle, so it's all good. Geminem says, what if the Grand Inquisitor is the one that kills Reva? Revenge. Oh, wouldn't that be pretty cool? Suds asked for a $2 holla. Nerd Theory tonight? I think so. I got to double check with the man, so we'll double check with him. DJ CC Ryder says, doesn't it fix things if Grand Inquisitor shows up later? Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. What else is going on? Chat. Let's hang out in the chat. Oh, I scrolled past your super chat. I'm sorry. Did I miss any more of them? Where is this? This must have been far up, huh? Wait, did I do it again? Oh, here we go. Okay, so sorry, Kalisto. Here we go. 20 spots. So generous. Thank you. Talking about your struggle with Star Wars content is all a part of the journey in Den of Nerds. Maybe next year you'll be saying, hey, Nerd Vengers, remember when I wasn't loving Star Wars? How things have changed. I like hearing all points of view. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, that's really sweet. I do think it's a part of the experience. I want to try to be fair, of course. You know what I mean? Like, I keep trying to just do a fair shake here. You know what I mean? I think we're doing a good job. I mean, we're having fun. I know some of you guys are like, all angry about it. But, yeah. Okay, let's see here. Big Red Zillennial says, can Dev see that people don't want to work for KK? Just a shame Disney powers don't see that as enough incentive to sack KK. May the force be with you, bro. Hey, much love right back at you, brother. And I see where you're coming from, too, though. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Mosma says, honestly, I'm fed up with all Disney Plus shows and worried about Mando. Weirdly excited for Bad Batch. When does Dune come out again? Yeah, Mosma's big Dune lover. No way. Brad Bird? Is that... Okay, wait. That can't be real, right? Did they... Is there an update? Is it Brad Bird? Or did you just want Brad Bird? Oh, man. I might have just got overexcited there. Can't be, right? Bruh. Brad Bird? Brad Bird? How about this? Because I am going to work on this Fantastic Four video, like probably after I eat lunch. Let's get a little support from the class here, okay? Who do you guys want to direct Fantastic Four? Now, keep in mind, he's going for a big name, okay? And he's going for somebody he thinks he can just, like, let them do their thing, right? So, unfortunately, one of my thoughts was, oh, what if Taika did it? But I love Taika, but he's not that kind of guy. Like, they had to do a lot of reworking for both his Marvel movies. Much love to Taika, but he goes wild, and then they tighten it up in the process. I think even he would admit that. So, it can't be Taika. Russo's, they're too busy on Secret Wars, bro. They are busy right now looking at different versions of a medieval-looking Hydra Captain America, trying to pick out the design. Snyder, he's building out the new Star Wars over on Netflix. He's too busy. Johnny Fabs is a good choice. I'm actually going to take some notes. Who you got? Krasinski, I already have him on the list, but yeah, that's a good one. Who you got? Martin Scorsese, cinema. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Spielberg would be fun, but like, you think he's gonna come over and do that? Ooh, Robert Eggers. Okay. Chloe Zhao. I unfortunately don't think she's there. I don't think she's that pedigree yet. Peyton Reed, isn't he busy? I have Sam Raimi on the list. Yeah. Kenny Powers. I appreciate your positivity, even when criticizing Kenobi and other shows too. Even if we get content, even if we like content, different things, I still appreciate your response. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I try to keep it pretty chill. You know, we got our own kind of vibe over here. You know, we're not inciting and all that. We're not, you know. I like Coogler. I actually like that. I feel though, honestly, Coogler needs a vacation after this Wakanda Forever shit, bro. Like, I feel like this man... Because I actually think that movie's going to be dope. But I think he's going to need a vacation, man. I think he's going to need a little break. John Fab is on there for sure. Christopher Nolan, I'm going to put him on there. I just highly doubt he would do it. But yeah, okay. My mom, she would be incredible. Yeah. Ron Howard. I don't hate that, Mike. I don't hate that. Cool. James Gunn, Kevin Smith. Oh, no. And I actually like Kevin Smith. What did Trev say? Steven Spielbergo. All right, I'll put them on the list. Cool. Okay, guys. Oh, y'all want to watch me play a Marvel Snap game? Because I was about to end it, but y'all want to watch me play a little Marvel Snap? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? I know Trev does. Trev's like, oh, this is now what you call content? Oh, dude, Duffer Brothers would be great, dude. I don't know, but they got to finish up all that shit, right? But I'm going to put them down anyway. Cool. This what you call content now, Josh? You're just playing games. Whoever directed Morbius. Vince Gillian. Now, has he done much in the film land, Trev? Because I know he's the Breaking Bad guy, right? Vince Gillian. Dennis is not a good fit for it, I don't think. Morbin time, indeed. Any Morb heads in chat? Dude, get out of here. Morb heads cannot actually be a thing. They just can't. No, it can't be. Wait, no. Okay, here we go. Boom. And let's do it like this. And I'm actually going to make my camera all big or bigger. Okay, cool. Let's check this out. Okay, I actually changed my deck up a little bit last night. So I'm going to play a little bit of this with y'all. Just so you can see. This is Marvel Snap, upcoming game. The guy that created Hearthstone and a lot of those people, they left that company a long time ago, made their own company. This is their first big game. It's Marvel IP. I think it's a fantastic design. I'm a big tabletop player. I love Magic the Gathering. I've played a lot of different card games throughout my life. And so I want to kind of bring this up to you. Now, hang on. Let me do a thing here. Where's the... Because I got to get you to actually see what's going on here. So I have to make the screen a little bit small for now, okay? I actually don't have a turn one play here. I get one energy, and none of my cards are a one drop. So I'm just going to end the turn and see what my opponent does. So they played a little Squirrel Girl at Carmertage. Pops out squirrels at every location. Carmertage doubles reveal effects, which is an effect that Squirrel Girl had there. I actually don't think that's a good play. Because now he's got half of the locations for his places with one-drop squirrels. So I'm not crazy about it. I'm going to play Medusa in the middle lane so that she gets her +2. I'm also confused by that move from my opponent. On turns 1, 2, and 3, you get the different locations shown to you. Only one card from each player can be played here. Or can be here. So that's kind of interesting. He already has 2. So he's broken it. He will not be able to play anything else there. His power is 2. I can take this with a 3. So I'll take it with a 3 and put Mr. Fantastic there so that he can boost. Although if he Fantastic's here, he could beat me, actually. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Oh, and also he's not a 3. I'll play Mr. Fantastic in the mid, actually. Put the pressure on him. Put the pressure on him. Okay, so I'm going to try to lock up the center here. I'm going to punish her there. And then I'm actually going to Nightcrawler there. I'm going to snap so that we're playing for double Cosmic Cubes. So again, it's such a weird move by him. So he literally just pretty much gave up the middle. So I'm going to Medusa, or rather Angela. I'm going to move Nightcrawler into this spot. Then I'm going to play Captain America. And my final turn will probably be stacking this location and putting something over here that will just auto give me the win here. Ooh, this is a good move. So he just played Deathlock and killed all his shit. Nova is going to give +2 to all his shit now. So that's actually brutal. That's brutal for me. Damn. Kind of fucked me up, I'm not going to lie. Damn. Not good. So I don't even know if there's a way here to win. I told you guys were bad luck. So I should probably actually play Cable here, 2 + 2 to 4. I still don't have it there. Damn it! No! Well, that's the move, but it's not going to be enough. I don't have Nova yet. But, like, dude, Nova's pretty sick. Nova is pretty sick, dude. Okay, so check this out. Just kind of want to show you kind of what was going on here. So, he took, like, that Nova move, basically buffed his middle and buffed his little squirrels over here. And he took the middle lane and the lane over here. And you kind of see, like, the strategy of the game, right? Where you're trying to win 2 of 3 of these locations. It's a 6-turn game. You have limited resources, and you're playing at, like, the same time or whatever. So, yeah, pretty fun. Pretty cool. We'll leave it there. I'm going to probably do a thing where I get, like, an actual setup for it so that you guys can see it a little bit better, because I actually love the game, and I'll probably do some streams where I'm just playing for like an hour, a couple hours, and just chilling with y'all. So we'll get that going on. But the other thing is, you guys are bad luck for me. So thanks. Thanks for me losing. Jason Bateman would be perfect. Ozark AD. Okay, wait. Hang on. A couple other super chats came in. Let me get through these, and then we'll call it a stream here. Elijah says, if Kenobi need to hide by not using the Force, once he starts training Luke in the Force, won't they find him right away? Don't think about it too hard. Under no circumstances does someone give me millions of dollars and I say, okay, let's shoot Vader and Obi in a gravel construction site. Oh, my God, don't think about it. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're good. Okay, everybody, much love to you all. Appreciate you guys being here for sure. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe we'll do a Nerd Theory tonight. Yeah. Much love, guys. Much love, okay? See you in the next one. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. You guys want to know the real hot take of the day? You guys want to know the take that was too hot for the regular show? I'm gonna tell you right now. I will not be shocked if the Miss Marvel show ends up being better than Kenobi. And I'll just leave you with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. See you later.